What's good? Welcome back. Episode number 2, Kingdom Content Podcast. I'm Billy.
I'm Clayton.
And we got some stuff to talk about, man. Today, really, I mean, we've been on this networking kick. You know, we've been going to like networking events and everything just to rub shoulders, meet new people, all that type of stuff, man. Right. And y'all know that old saying that everybody always says is your network is your net worth. You know what I mean? I don't care what, if you go to any networking event and somebody speaks, they gonna say that like off top. But it's not a problem. I think it's like, it's facts. It's not that it's cheesy when they say it for sure, but like it's facts. It's literally a tool, I would say, of having Rolodex, your cell phone, IG, whatever you got, where you got your network of people that you're connected with, like physically connected with, not just have people who know you, but actually have a relationship with these people. What are your thoughts about, the networking, how important it is to just your network?
Man, it's super powerful. I mean, it's depending on the business. Depending on the business that you're in, it can literally make or break you. Because sometimes we think it's all about knowledge and skills and experience and all that type of stuff. You can have all the knowledge, skills, experience you want, but if you don't have the people that are in the right places to find you the right clients, it all kind of goes to waste. So if you don't have that,
that's
kind of
that's dead on. Yeah, that's dead on. But I can say from my own experience, like, in business, even like during my hardest times, I was able to tap into my network and reach out and say, hey, like, I'm having a hard time over here. I'm needing some help. Like, who can, what can you do to help me out? And now I got all my network sending me business. They're calling their people. Like, it's just that relationship piece. Like, it's very important.
Give us an example. Give us like a specific example.
Like, for instance, like Judge Graham. Like, Judge Graham is like, that's like my all-time mentor, I would say. He's always been a good friend. He's always been a good client, all around. But when I get in a tight bind, I know I can hit up Judge and I'm going to say, Judge, like, I need some help. You got anything for me? Or you know anything? Got something? And Judge will start sending me people like, hey, I got this guy. And he's going to put me in a group text and there's going to be some business there. But that's literally like the type of relationship that I believe is super valuable. It's not like I'm using him or he using me. You know what I'm saying? It's just like,
it's mutual.
He hits me up. I'm going to hook him up on a deal and show some love. I might do something for free. You know what I mean? I just want to show so much love back because he shows that love, especially when I'm in a hard spot and or even just knowledge wise. It don't even have to be like transactional. Sometimes it's literally like, Judge, like, I'm stuck in this place. Like, what would you do? And he's able to give that advice because we have that type of relationship. But most people get into these networking events and things, and you come and you just take. But networking, and if you really want to build your net worth with your network, what you're going to need to do is literally build solid relationships. But
and I would say we got the network is your net worth. That we went over that and just really explained in depth, kind of like what that actually looks like and does it actually matter. Overall, you said.
Yeah, it matters 100%.
100%. Yeah, and I 100% agree too. Your network is your net worth.
It's hard. It's a tongue twister.
It's a tongue twister.
Network and network. Network is network. Network is network.
For sure. The next topic we want to get into is the actual conversations. It's actually I was reading a book last night. It's called The Conversion Code 2.0. It's by Chris Smith. And one line in there, it said, conversations are what creates clients. That specific line right there. And I was like, that was just small line, short sentence even, but it clicked with me more than any of the other 10 pages that I read there. Because in general, that's what it's all about. It's about conversations, whether that's through a text message, whether that's through DMs, whether that's through the little chat bot on your website, whether that's a phone call, a Zoom call, knocking on somebody's door. Regardless, you're going to have a conversation to actually sell your service, especially in these service-based industries and stuff like that. Now, if you're selling a watch, you're selling a pencil, a little bit different sometimes in general, but conversations are what's going to actually create clients.
Yeah, because it's all relationship, man. It's like relationship and getting comfortable and learning to trust people. Like, conversations is going to go big. I mean, I know like being on social media and like even trying to look for new leads and things like that, and you reach out to somebody, like that conversation has to go deeper than just straight the ass, because it's like, I want to know more about them. I want to understand what they're doing, what's their product, all those types of things. But it's kind of like showing interest in who they are, not just what they can give you.
People only care about themselves.
Yeah, for sure.
That's one thing first. People care about themselves. So, for instance, my first business when I was 11 years old, me and my friend Miles Malone, we read this book in schools about some 10-year-old kid creating like a toothpaste company, and he became like a millionaire off that toothpaste company. And it was a fictional book or whatever, but we read it, and it was a little black kid too, so he looked like us, and we was like, why can't we do that? What are we going to do to make $1 million? And we just came home after school one day and we just started writing stuff down, all the different things we could do to make $1 million. And the one thing that stuck out to us, because we both kind of had been doing it around the house, was mowing the yard. We was like, oh, yeah, we can mow yards for people. You know how to mow yards. I know how to mow yards. You have a lawnmower at your house. I got one in mine. Let's do it. And so the first thing we had to do was have conversations. A lot of people, the first thing they'll do is go get business cards and go get a car wrap on their car, go create a website, go do all that stuff. That's cool, and you're going to need that in the long run. But the first thing we went to go do, knock on doors. And then we didn't just knock on any doors. We knocked on doors that the yard looked a little mess. It looked like it needed some work. It looked like it needed some attention. So we had those conversations. We knocked on the door. You know, we're 11 years old, 12 years old. We're cute and, you know, completely gullible. We didn't even know what prices, nothing. We didn't have any of that. We were just like, we need to have conversations. So we went up, knocked on some doors, and hey man, your yard's, you know, it doesn't look the best, or it looks like you can use some work. We can help you out with that. And then we had our first client. It was like, okay, yeah, how much? We were just like, we just looked at each other. It was like, oh, we didn't even have a price. What to say. But we ended up coming up with a price together, and the customer agreed on that price, and we had our first client. So that was a great lesson in general. Is just finding, once again, we found a market. We found someone who needed the product, had a conversation. So that's the first thing. And then we let our parents know, and our parents end up hitting up their friends and their connects. And now exactly.
Business is growing and growing.
Exactly.
Just word of mouth.
Exactly. So that's exactly what happened. We end up getting a lot of recurring clients through one, knocking on doors, the people that needed it, and also through our parents' networks of people that needed it from them.
Man, that's strong. Yeah, that's strong. And that's powerful, because conversation, I mean, it even goes past just the sales side of things. You know, sometimes you may build up a network and you may not even do business with each other for a while, and you just know each other, or you know what each other does. I mean, I think that's one of the things I love about being like a barber and having people in your seat. They stuck with you, having conversation with you. You get to have like deep conversation with people, but people have ideas, businesses, all those types of things, and you have them, and you already have them in your seat, in your chair. So you're already learning about those things. So first time somebody says, I need this, I'm already thinking off top like, oh, such and such does this. So I want to go and share that, you know, because it's a value, and you know, like the passion behind it, especially if you got a good product or a good heart when it comes to what you're doing. But even like the recent call I just had, like I hadn't talked to a dude in maybe I'll say since the pandemic, you know, hit.
2-3 years probably.
Yeah, like since 2020, actually. Yeah. So it was 2020 whenever I was on his podcast, was on Darren Palmer's podcast. And just now, he's just now hitting me up like, hey, I got some things that's needed. I got people that I need, and I think you'd be perfect for this. But it's been years. He's just been seeing me working, and we haven't really even talked that much. It was more like, hey, man, keep doing your thing. But just having that network of you don't always have to communicate at all times. But that first communication of talking about your vision and where you're at, and just even me being on this podcast, having that conversation, it triggered and remembered like, oh, no, Billy's the guy to hit up about this. So like that right there is like gold. Like building like the best relationships is super gold. But I know we put on this on one of our points is talking about the clients. Well, I would say the network that those people who feel entitled. Like when you go into these networking events and people are they feel like you owe them something. You know what I mean? Like we done been to some networking events and talked to some people, and we're excited about working with them, and we have great conversations at the networking event. We learn about them, but we get them into the office, and then
or on a phone call,
or on a phone call, and then they act. The conversation we had then, it turned into like almost like, who are you? You know, like brush of the shoulder. They don't really want to have a conversation. It's just like, I mean, when we had the conversation originally, you sounded like you wanted to talk further, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, are y'all like, is the networking events and spaces like that, do you feel like they fake and there's a lot of fake people in there just trying to act like they want to network? Or?
It depends, man, for sure. We've definitely seen it a lot. It depends, like trying to like read through people and try to see who's real, who's not real, who's actually here to just, maybe they here for a job, maybe they here for, they on their last dollar and they trying to actually just, they only trying to get, you know, there's people that's just trying to get, and there's people that's trying to give, and there's people trying to do both. And the people that's trying to do both is the people you're trying to work with.
Exactly.
Because they're trying to get, obviously from you or whoever, they're trying to get a service, a product, some knowledge, something from you. And then also they trying to give. They trying to give, oh, I got this, I got a book. I know how to put together a book. I know how to market. I know how to create websites. I know how to speak. I know how to put together events. Whatever those things are, now we can work together.
Gotta weed out them fakes though, man.
Right,
it's a lot of fakes.
Or even
everywhere.
that other guy, I mean, it's a basic name of Mike. I don't know if you remember him, but he apparently, you know, let's say builds credit and car rentals. Saying he got 6-7 different businesses, but doesn't want to do any marketing, doesn't want to do any advertising, doesn't want to do anything like that, doesn't want to grow at all.
He's comfortable where he's at. Exactly what he said. It's like, man, I'm good where I'm at, man. I don't really even need anything. It's just like, bro, like you still don't want to network, like, and at least connect and build relationship. Like, you might. You really put it to you like this, like, even so, we were talking to him on seeing what he needed in marketing and things like that. But the relationship overall, if it wouldn't have put salt in our mouth, like maybe I would have hit him up on some credit tips and he would have got business off of me. And he didn't get that because it was like, it just put a bad taste in my mouth just because he was just so standoffish. Like, I don't need. And it's like, first off, I don't want to work with anybody who doesn't want to grow. That's it. Like, if you don't want to grow, like you got to get from around me because I'm looking to grow. I'm looking to be better. And if you don't want that, you're kind of just like, you would hold me down anyway. Like you would stop me for going to my next destination because you want to stay exactly where you are. Right. Because I'm quick to like cut off. If you're not doing nothing and you ain't trying to like really be better, like just go. Like,
red flag.
I don't want that.
Big red flag.
Big red flag.
Someone saying, I don't want to grow, or I'm happy where I'm at. I don't want to go anymore. I don't want to take that next step. Who's ever said, I don't want to take that next step?
Like,
that doesn't
in
make
my
sense.
head, it's like, if you don't want to take the next step, then like it has to be something wrong with you. Like, we are built to want to grow. Like, you naturally want to get out of your situation or want to go to another level. I don't care where you at. I don't care if you're working at McDonald's. I don't care if you're mopping floors. Eventually,
or if you're making $100 million, you want to make $200 million.
You want to make $200 million. Exactly. You're not going to want to just stay in the same spot. There's going to be some type of growth in you. Spiritually something. But if you just like, no, I'm good where I'm at and I just want to stay here, like, I feel bad for you because you're going to have a hard time with yourself and you're going to be yelling at yourself later on because you never decided to go and grow or try to make opportunity for growth. Right. Yeah. Yeah,
they always say you either getting better or you're getting worse. There's no maintain. You know, it's either getting better or getting worse. So actually create a relationship, right? You create that initial relationship with that person. What's important is maintaining it as well. So you can actually speak on how to maintain that relationship, the power of maintaining that relationship, and then also knowing maybe when it's time to stop maintaining that relationship.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's more on, like, I would say, like, value. Okay. Like, it's overall value. I'm always trying to provide value into my network. Like, I always like, how can I help you? You need something. Hey, you good over there? Like, those normal follow-ups that you may do, you know what I mean? Even if it's like, I don't care if it's on social media and you just comment and you just like, hey, you good? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always it's gotta be a touching point at some point. You just can't decide, hey, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna talk to this person now and then I never talk to them again. And then every time I hit them up, I'm asking for something.
Yep.
Instead of checking up on them, like, man, tell somebody happy birthday or Merry Christmas, happy Father's Day or something. Like, you got to have, like, build a real relationship with them. And a lot of times, people not building any real solid relationship. Like, I want everybody who comes in or I bring value to, I want them to feel like I'm more of a friend than anything. Like, am I a good friend?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, am I actually coming into your life and either uplifting you, helping you in your situation, making things better? How can I do that so that you feel all right? You know what I mean? That you feel like somebody got your back.
Right.
Because then now you feel comfortable to call on me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of me just always calling, like, you gonna call on me, I'll call on you. We check in on each other. That's how you build a solid relationship. Because, for instance, like even me and Charleston White, y'all know that we have worked with Charleston White and Dewberry on their podcast, game related podcast, and there was a point where we bumped heads. You know, me and Charleston bumped heads, and conversation got intense and everything. But even so, it doesn't mean y'all gotta agree on everything. Y'all gotta be like always like everything perfect with each other. But to be able to say, hey, I can have a conversation with you and say what I feel. Like somebody should be able to be vulnerable with you and say exactly how they feel, have that real conversation, and y'all can be like, oh, I get your side, and be understanding towards each other and keep on moving. So that now, no matter what, people still come through Charleston that somebody didn't hit up and be like, hey, Charleston told me about you. Or, I didn't told somebody about Charleston and be like, hey, you should do a podcast with him and work. Like, it's still a good relationship because we were able to conversate and have that real conversation. But it also stems from just being caring and really having respect for somebody. Like, you got to respect these people you networking with. You just can't sit there and, you just can't be a taker. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of these people is just straight take. That's all they want to do is just take from you. But what are you doing to benefit each other, to help each other? Because if you ain't helping each other, then you pretty much just sitting still. You know what I mean? Kind of like holding weight.
That's powerful too. And I know we're talking about networking and business and stuff like that, but the more you're talking, I'm thinking about friendships as well.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's, like I said, it's slightly off topic, but it's so important. And it just made me think about it because that's something I've been thinking about the last month or so. Is friendships in my life where maybe I'm giving too much, or I'm just giving. I'm giving value, I'm helping you. You got problems with your girl, you got problems with your parents, you got problems with your job, your school, all that type of stuff. And I'm helping, giving advice like I'm a therapist or, and stuff like that. And that's great. But at a certain point, it can just be too much. Or I'm just giving, it's draining. Right. And there's nothing pouring back in to refill the drain.
And you end up empty, and now you over here tired, and now they hit you up, and you don't sound like you normally sound. Now
I'm
they
not
act
answering,
like you,
I'm
like,
not texting back.
What's up with you now? Like, but it ain't that. You drain me so much that I have nothing else to give you.
Right.
And that's how you burn the bridges. Like, you
burn listening to me. You ain't doing, it's just a waste of time.
When the last time you checked on me?
Right.
That's how I look at it. When have you checked on me to make sure I was all right?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because what about when you go into that hard time and you're down and out and you finally need somebody, and all the time you don't even feel comfortable to go to that person because and then when you did, I didn't have moments where I didn't have people where I'm going through stuff, but I've always been the one that's like there for them. Right. And I make that call to call them, and they start telling me about their problems. And I got to put my problems aside just to hear their problems. And I'm just like, dang. But, because I care about value and I care about people, like I just put my problems aside. But then eventually, like, I'm empty completely because I never got to get it off of me.
Right.
And I think that's a problem I see overall, that of people not only just taking but using, and they use people up to a certain point that now you don't even want to fool with them. So even when it comes back to the business side, imagine draining somebody to the point that you don't want to fool with them. So I'm not going to send any business your way. I'm not going to send anybody to you because I'm not going to push anybody into a draining situation that now they drain. And now they come to me like, man, you sent me over there, and dude, all he do is talk about his problems. He don't bring any value whatsoever. I'm like, I'm over here. I didn't help him get his car fixed, got this done, and all this and that, and like no value whatsoever is coming from that. And I think that's value. We talk about value a lot, and I think
we do.
But I think it's because value is the center of everything to me.
Yeah,
Like it has to be, because if you're not, then you just get stuck.
Yeah.
I don't want to be stuck because value wasn't there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because now you're just wasting time. You're wasting each other's time.
Yeah.
You're wasting conversation. You pretty much wasting money because you're wasting time.
Yep.
And now you're wasting resources. You're wasting everything just to cater into somebody. But if the value ain't there, it's just dead. Yeah. It's just completely dead.
Like you said, value is everything. It's crazy to think about, but it is. Like even in relationships, like literal like boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife relationships, it's like, what does this woman bring to you? That is the value. What does this man bring to you? That is the value. What is this company? If I work with this company and give them $1,000, what am I gonna get out of that? Is it time? Am I gonna get more time back? Am I gonna make more money? Are my employees gonna be happier? What am I gonna get out of that? And that is what value is. That's what makes us pull out our wallets. That's what makes us say yes. That's what makes us make those types of decisions, is when we see the value. Don't see the value, it's useless. Same in relationships, friendships. If you don't see the value in that friendship, got to start cutting it off.
Do you think that social media is a good place to like network? And do you feel like it's a good spot to network, or
That's
do you
an
feel
amazing
like
place.
I would say social media versus in person? Like we went to an in-person networking event compared to social media. Like, which one do you think is better?
I mean, in person is definitely better, but it's more scarce. You can't, as we've been trying to do ourselves, you can't go to a network event every single day. You can't go to a network event any time of the day. You can't reach every single person. Your exact avatar or the exact person that you actually want to work with may not be at that networking event. Right. They may be, I don't know, they may be in a whole different country. They may not ever come out. They may just be in the house, or maybe just focused on their business. You got to find another way to reach out to them. So
yeah, and also I feel like in person, people aren't as comfortable. They don't have as much confidence in the in-person event compared to if I hit them up on social. Now they got the confidence. They having more conversation. They talking a big talk because, like it's social. You see what you see. Right. You know what I'm saying? Compared to like in person, it's just like, I had a lot of times where I done met people like on social media, and it's like this big talk, big game. And then you see them in person, and then it's just like,
it don't match up.
Ah, bro, you ain't have all that, man. You ain't have all that. Yeah. I thought where the car at, man? That you've been showing all the time, man. And then you show up in this car right here. Now I'm just like questioning, like, do you really got it or not? You know what I'm saying? But I do feel like,
in person, though, you got to see the truth.
Yeah,
that's why it's like it's definitely more valuable.
Yeah,
it's in person is the most valuable. It's just not the hardest thing. Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not the easiest thing to come by.
Yeah,
but if you can have a choice, it's always in person.
Yeah, because you can literally read people in person and see how they are. You can see like when conversations happens. Like I love getting into conversation with people at these events, and I start talking, and they act like they know the topic, and they're really going into it. So I go deeper on purpose to be like, oh, so you do your own marketing, cool. And I start talking about stuff, and now they stuttering over their words and be
saying the same thing over and over.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I call it. You don't know none of this stuff, man. But I think in-person events are solid, though. I know the first event that me and you went to together, like that event was super solid. I believe that everybody had good intentions, and we're trying to bring value in their own way, compared to the other one where it was like a little different, but that was just the type of event it was. But I can tell y'all about that event though. Is the funniest thing about this event, y'all, like they have these stickers, all right? So they got these stickers and we go to these event, and this is a This is a networking event where you're networking either if you're looking for a job, you're looking to contract somebody, all those things. And Clayton had put on the sticker for the hiring, the companies that are looking to hire.
Right.
So like we're going around and we talking to all these different people, and I hadn't seen Clayton for a while. So I'm just like, man, Clayton, he really must be out here working and getting it, because I ain't seen him for a while. And I turn, and Clayton has a line waiting to talk to him. I'm like, why does everybody want to talk to Clayton like that? He was like, he finished and took it off. And he's like, no, I gotta take this sticker off, man, because there's a whole line sitting here waiting to talk to Clayton the whole entire time. And I'm thinking like, dang, like I ain't getting nobody. Like nobody want to talk to me today. Like
it was super odd to see. I was wondering why too. It took me 2 or 3 people to talk to, and I'm like, God's first person asked me, oh, so what are you hiring for? What position?
Right.
And I let them know, okay, we're not really hiring. We're more prospecting. We're more just like, we know the positions that we want to fill in the future. And we just trying to get some, contacts on the list. Just said that nice and calm, moved on. Next person just straight up, oh, I see you're hiring. I was like, oh, I see the problem here. I got this blue stick on.
You gotta be careful when you go to these. When y'all go to a networking event,
right?
Figure out the rules and everything of the networking event. We were super excited, so we were just like, it's another networking event. We're gonna go to this one. But there's a lot of them in Dallas, y'all. So like
every city,
every city. Really get up on Eventbrite and things. I mean, that's where we're looking for them. I know you've been looking for them in there. Like,
those are the main places, but anywhere, Google, Eventbrite, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you can find them.
Yeah, get into those events, man. There's tons of great people. Like, sometimes you may feel like you wasted a little time going to them, but I would say like it doesn't hurt to go and get in these networking events and network with people. Even in music, like there's tons of ways like you can network with people to get your music out and network with new producers, engineers, artists, collaborations, all those types of things. Like get out and start touching people and connecting with people, because I believe that's the shortage of why you probably be that you're stuck. Or you can't get to the next phase, because sometimes it takes other people to get you to the next phase. You can't always do it by yourself.
Right.
So you might be missing out on a new teammate. You might be missing out on a business partner.
Right.
You might be missing out on just a new opportunity because you didn't take the time to go and network and meet with new people instead of staying inside of your little bubble and not moving out of it and only working with your own people. And if you only work with your own people, now it's just you and them.
Right.
That's it. And now y'all ain't growing. You know what I mean? And you could have brought another element to bring in other people. So And we experienced that in here with our own music artists and everything, and just trying to say, hey, we got to get up out of it and step out. That's one thing I like about what Drip does. He goes out and network as many people as possible. And if y'all know Drip Visuals, y'all go check out his work. That's little sponsored piece there for him. But just him networking everything with new people. I see him like connect with so many different people that I'd be like, I could be with somebody and be like, man, I got Drip Visuals over here. Like, yeah, I know Drip. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know they knew Drip, but Drip been networking with so many people that even if he ain't met them just yet, other people been talking about him anyway. So networking is that valuable. And I'm pretty sure it helps his pockets too, and people refer and he get new people all the time.
Right. And one more thing on that is this is just, hey, if you're starting a new business, or let's say you want to start a business and you don't know where to start, you may not even have no skills or feel like you don't have no skills in those areas. Think about the networks that you have access to. What is your mom or dad or uncle or aunt? What do they do? Are you connected with them?
Yep.
Have you had a past job that you worked at, or a job that you're working at now that is in a certain industry or a certain area, or friends? You got a bunch of friends that do a certain thing. If you have access to a network of people, that's a target audience for somebody. What do they need? Think about what they need. What problems are they having? What problems you keep hearing them talk about? Can you solve that problem? That's what you got to ask yourself. You can solve that problem. Now you got a business, and now you have an audience right there, the network that we just talked about. So,
dang. So you saying find your avatar within your network, and now you can start your business straight off of that avatar, solve that problem, and now your business will be thriving.
You got a business, and let's say let's say you see the problem, but you can't solve the problem.
Yeah.
But you know somebody else that can solve the problem. Now you can partner. It's the same networking again.
Exactly.
Like now you can partner with the person that can solve the problem. You got the audience. They got the solution.
Yep.
Put them together. You got a business.
That's hard.
So
that's hard. And in your network, man, you can grow together in so many different ways in networking that I see people starting funds together, growing money together, investing together within this network. And there's networks that do that, y'all. Like Literally, you can tap into some networks and it's investment networks, and you go in and you put some money in and everybody puts it in, and now you invested into this whole thing. I've seen it done. I think is valuable. But I just believe this having a strong network is like key.
Yeah.
Because I built my whole business off of referrals. Like the jump was straight off of referrals. Yeah. But why would somebody refer somebody to you if you're not in a network or you don't have a relationship with them? You know what I mean? I literally start off a business relationship that, hey, from time to time, I'm going to ask you for referrals. Yeah. Like I literally tell them that I'll literally start the whole situation off with that. So they have in their mind, like, Billy's going to ask me for a referral eventually, because I believe that out of each person that you connect to, you can get at least 3 referrals out of each person, right. Especially if you do good business with them, have a good relationship, you bring value to them, that they won't mind doing that. Yeah. Because I like to find the same type of clients and the same type of people within the network that I'm in that I see like, oh, I like this person, I love how they are. I want to work with more people like that. Right. So even so on the networking, like even try to grow that particular style of network. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if I got like 1,000 Judge Grahams, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like imagine the growth that I would get off of that, because I went and found more Judge Grahams that are super aggressive and know how to get to the bag and understand, business on a whole nother level that I can pour into or get poured into. You know what I'm saying? Like 100%. That's strong. Like you can sit there and duplicate your network just off of the relationships that you have through saying, hey, I'm going to ask for referrals. I'm going to ask for people just like you. You know what I mean? From that person, you're going to duplicate. And then from that person, you're going to do the same thing. It's going to duplicate and it's going to keep on expanding. Yeah. So networking can expand your referral base, which expands your business for sure.
Right. 5 Judge Grahams might be 100 clients.
Yeah, for sure.
When you break it all down.
Exactly.
For sure. Next. The fun question, we always end the podcast, towards the end with a fun question, a more off-topic conversation.
One that we don't agree on ever. Exactly what it is.
But yeah, so the one today is, can music generate...
What was it? Can music move you to make a financial decision?
Can music move you to make a financial decision? That's the question.
I believe it can.
Okay.
I truly believe that it can move you. I don't think you would actually like pull the trigger, but I believe that it can move you. So like if you're at an event per se and this music is playing and it's touching you and it's touching your soul and it's got you, and let's say the person up on the mic while the music is playing, that piano's playing, and they speaking into you, they're talking about your problems, they talking about everything that you dealing with, and then there's an offer, you know what I mean, at the end, you're gonna be pretty much like, you're gonna think about making this decision because you were moved, but Clayton says there's a no, and I want to know.
No.
I want to get why I don't get that.
For me, all I care about is the offer, and I care about, do I know, like, and trust the person that's giving me this offer, and do I need this offer? Everything that's logical about it, like that's really all I care about. Like I said, what do you offer me? Why are you offering it to me? How is this gonna help me? And do I want to say, am I in the financial position to say yes or no to this?
But
that's it.
So if
it ain't about the music.
Don't matter none of it.
It ain't about
he didn't say any. He couldn't say nothing with that music that made you be like, dang, like it didn't touch your spirit whatsoever. Like, dang, he on it. Like I need that. I understand exactly. He's talking directly to me. I hear the problem, and I need that. Nothing will move you off of that.
No. Music ain't gonna change a thing. It
ain't.
Man,
it's just so dark. It's so
it ain't gonna change nothing.
So dark.
I might be more entertained. I might be willing to sit there longer. So I mean, there's a way that you can like finesse it. Kind of like if you go on a Macy's or a JC Penney or wherever, they always got music playing in there. And the music is not to get you to buy things, but it's to get you to stay in there longer because you're enjoying the music. You cool. You
but
just
they
having good
play
music
a hype
in there.
song that's super fast. You're gonna be in there shopping like with super energy and everything.
You're gonna be
grabbing. Like if I could put you.
So
like
that's a way
if you
that
were
it'll
in
work.
the store
Mhm.
and they play some music and it's talking about like I'm getting to the bag and I'm going and you going and that music hyped up and you amped up, you gonna start throwing stuff in that bag. You gonna be in there amped up.
Nah, if they playing it, it's gonna get me to stay in there longer probably because I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah, so you're gonna spend more money.
Agreed.
Exactly.
Agreed.
It will move you to make a
Nah,
financial
it's gonna make me stay there longer. And
You
staying there longer
to spin the
potentially
bag
could make me spend more money.
because it moved you. See, that's when I know Clayton don't want to argue no more because it's just he's not gonna say anything. He's just gonna be like, all right.
It can get me to stay somewhere longer. It can get me to enjoy my experience more. And if I'm enjoying my experience more, I can see how I can spend more money. So
If you're at an event, you didn't get distracted because the music that's moved you, and now you're in tune to it.
That's where
and the
it's different.
speaker has spoken, and he was speaking correctly to move you further.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Let me ask this. All right. If let's say there's no music involved, and somebody is speaking into you, and they're talking about your problems, all the things, and it matches up.
Right.
Would that move you?
Yeah.
To purchase.
Right.
So now if you take that and add some music that complements what he's saying,
Yeah.
do you feel like the music will help?
If there's $1,000 package, a $1,500 package, and a $2,000 package, and I was going to sign up for the $1,000 package without the music, I'm not moving up to the $1,500 with the music. I guess that's all I'm saying is it's not going to change it. I'm either gonna take the package I wanted to take regardless. Like I'm gonna take the package I want regardless of the music. So
music or not, you were gonna take that package anyway.
Goddamn right.
All right. So let's say you had $975.
Okay.
It's $1,000 package.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
And you're on the fence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he's been talking this whole time, and you still like, man, I'm debating about it, and then that music cuts on. And he's talking into your soul.
Nah.
It's not going to make you be like, you know what? I'm going to find this 25.
Nope.
Really?
I'm not going to look for it.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to leave that 25 where it's at. It ain't coming to me.
So obviously, just so y'all know, y'all can literally sell to Clayton. Just come to Clayton. Don't worry about any rah-rah.
Nope.
Just come with the data. Give him everything that he needs. Give him every little piece, and he's going to buy from you.
There you go.
If you bring any music in here, he's just going to look at you crazy because he don't care nothing about none of that.
Right.
At all.
Right.
He's just going to be like, why are you even playing the music at all?
Yeah. Now, personalization. Now, let's say you put on one of my favorite songs specifically because you knew that. Like you went in depth and you found one of my favorite songs. You know what? Actually, I know you're a big fan of this artist. I know you're a big fan of this song. We actually, for the next 30 minutes, we only going to play this artist. We only going to play this
so they
album.
got you with that?
Now that's personalization.
He just gave y'all game. If y'all want to sell to Clayton.
If you want to sell to anybody.
If you want to sell to Clayton, I'm saying you, because you the one chose this. If you want to sell to Clayton, go find his best records that he loved. Put them boys on, and you can sell him anything.
You got to tell me.
You can sell him anything. Just bring the data and the song, and you win.
There you go.
That fast.
That's how you do it.
Boy, you crazy. Man, so moving on, since we talk about music, man, we talked about the whole music space.
Right.
This ends this with just our shout out moment of this podcast. And I want to shout out Real Life Street Stars because we talk about networking. We talk about building relationships. And I believe that them guys are like very strong at doing that. I believe that all the people that come on their show just to speak and talk on there, I believe that they create good relationships. So, man, I even got good relationships with them. I've done business with them, and we didn't connect on the business side. It just didn't work out. But we still got good relationships just to reach out to each other and talk. It was no hard feelings. It just wasn't a good match. You know what I'm saying?
That's how it should be.
Yeah, and it should be that way. But I've seen them be like a strong networking space, connecting people. Even when Charleston brings new people in town, like Charleston takes his people right over there and they open arms, showing love, network with new people. So then you see people reoccurring that ain't even from out here be on their podcast. You know, it's like, I think they have a strong, a good relationship valued heart, I would say, when it comes to them connecting with people. And I think that they good for the city. I think like for Dallas, Texas, I think they are really good for the city and what they're doing. Also expanding out of music and educating people now on things and bringing solid people around them, you know what I mean, and building out that type of relationship that other people get to tune into that, learn new things. So, I wanted to give them a shout out. It was my pick today because I wanted to make sure they got that shout out because we were talking about networking. I was like, who do I know that networks well, builds great relationship? And Real Life is that, man.
Real Life. It sound like they building a brand too.
Oh yeah, they building a big brand. They just hit 200 million views on YouTube, man.
Congrats, Real Life.
Yeah, they getting up there, man. They've been doing high numbers, man. I've been seeing their stuff just keep going up and up. They even had Mark Cuban on their stuff, man. I thought that was dope. I thought that was dope to have Mark Cuban on there.
Wow.
Like to think, like I remember watching their show, you know, just from the beginning, and you can tell like. They was in a garage looking space and all that. It just wasn't that, you know what I mean? But now to see them elevating, they in a new spot, it's a different atmosphere, new vibe. They're all like winning together. I like that they all ask questions in it. It's not just one interview. It's like the whole team is asking their certain questions. They sound fun. It just sounds like a fun place. Like if you go and do an interview, I love to go on there and do an interview because it just sounds like fun. Like you be talking to the friends and they have they fun questions. And they're just great interviewers as well. So shout out to Real Life Street Stars, man. Y'all keep doing y'all thing, man. I think y'all gonna continue to grow bigger and bigger. Somebody gonna try to pick y'all up after a while. I can see that happening.
Yeah, or stay independent.
Yeah, or stay independent. Keep getting that bag on your own, man. For real. But that's the episode number 2, y'all, man. We gonna have more to come. We gonna keep on bringing great value because that's our goal. But y'all already know what it is. Seek first the kingdom. We got you.